Well, now to something that has become a bit of a mystery for a lot of Mainers. It is a book called The Great Controversy, and if it has ended up in your mailbox, you are not alone. The contents of this book are religious.
And we've heard from many of you asking who's sending the books out and why. News Center Maine's Pearl Small went right to the source to try to get those questions answered.
I was confused.
Just like thousands of other Mainers, this woman from Windham, who asked us not to share her name, received a book called The Great Controversy in the mail, and it made her feel uneasy.
We were really dismayed by that and confused why anyone would spend that amount of money on something like this.
She had a feeling it was part of a bigger project to spread certain religious beliefs, and she was right.
It's called saturation mailing, like any advertisement, like Ford Motor Company or Chevy.
Dwight Hall is the CEO of Remnant Publications in Michigan, where the book is printed and distributed. Hall says the books are funded through donations and sent in mass quantities across the country.
This is somebody that called in that says, I have X amount of dollars, I'd like to do this.
That kickstarted the $1 million project to get a book to every resident in Maine. Hall says they've done about 3/4 of all homes so far, costing about $1.50 per book. Although every single page has at least one mention of God or scripture, they say they don't believe they're pushing religion through the mailings.
It is a religious book in nature. It's more history.
I think that's probably not true. I think that it's propaganda intended to sway, right, people's understandings of things.
The book starts with the fall of Jerusalem and predicts the end times. It was written back in the 1800s by one of the founders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, who happened to be from Maine. But not all local members of that church are on board with this project.
That this is not a project of our local church.
Gratian Pereira, pastor of White Memorial in Portland, says he understands why these projects can come across the wrong way.
If not provided with the proper background of why it is being said, for what, people have a misunderstanding.
Pereira prefers a more interpersonal approach, believing mass mailings can appear aggressive.
Mailing seem like the most unaggressive because they're not going somewhere and getting Bible slammed. They can read it, they can throw it away, they can set it on the shelf, they give it to somebody else.
Yet to some people, even without any conditions, the whole idea still seems concerning.
I support religious belief, no doubt, but I just feel like this, in the hands of someone vulnerable, could be potentially dangerous. Right?
Pearl Small reporting. And Dwight Hall estimates about 20 million books total have been mailed in the last 15 years to several different states across the country.
He also says Remnant Publications is considering adding some extra messaging to their future mailings to avoid this kind of confusion and make that mission more clear.